All right, Shalom. First, we'd like to start by saying all praise to
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Ba'ashem,
Ba'ashem,
Yahushai,
Ba'ashem,
Ba'ashem, Rachak,
Double honors to the elders and apostles that we well. And salutations to the brothers that's doing the truth and sincerity. Now, this is the book called Time Secret Societies, right? And we know the world, because it's governed behind these secret societies and all this witchcraft that's going on. And I just want to bring out this. I'm pretty sure everybody done heard about him. Well, a lot of people done heard about him, but it's called "Led to the Slaughter." Cult leader Jim Jones instigates a mass suicide. I'm gonna bring up his picture real quick.
Oh, should this picture be on the next page?
Yeah, see, I got all this.
Oh.
You got it?
Yeah, I got it right here.
So you got that picture what I was going to get. Oh, okay, same thing. That's the guy. He looked like a criminal. But so long story short, he led a lot of people to commit suicide. He was being looked at as a god, you know, and a lot of this stuff was had to deal with a lot of witchcraft and shit that was going on too. But the statement I was going to make is, the reason why I'm bringing this out is because I'm equating it to what's going on in the world right now. How Israel is being led to the slaughter, you know, via these religious leaders or these so-called influences or these influences in the world, man. And I'm just bringing some scriptures and equate it to what's going on with Jake in general, because actually the people that he actually had committed suicide, a lot of those were Israelites, because this was being done in South America, and all you do is look up the place. It's called Guyana.
Yep, Guyana.
So I'm going to read it, and the brother just going to bring out some scriptures. It says, the large central building was ringed by bright colors. It looked like a parking lot filled with cars.
Mm-hmm.
When the plane dipped lower, the cars turned out to be bodies. It says scores and scores of bodies, hundreds of bodies, wearing red dresses, blue t-shirts, green blouses, pink slacks, children's polka dot jumpers.
Mm.
Couples with their arms around each other, children holding parents. Nothing moved. Washing hung on the clotheslines.
So this is the suicide scene from when Jim Jones coerced his congregation to commit suicide by drinking that the Kool-Aid. Oh. That's where that saying came from. Don't drink the Kool-Aid.
Oh, that's where it came from?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
He spiked the Kool-Aid.
And then the Kool-Aid was, it says, potassium cyanide and potassium chloride for the babies. Potassium cyanide for the adults. And I think the younger children, and the potassium cyanide for the babies. But it says, the fields were freshly plowed. Banana trees and grapevines were flourishing, but nothing moved. So reported Time correspondent Donald Neff, one of the first newsmen to fly into the hitherto obscure hamlet of Jonestown in the jungles of Guyana on the northern coast of South America. It says in late November 1978. It says the scene below him was one of almost unimaginable carnage, and an appalling demonstration of the way in which a charismatic leader can bend the minds of his followers with a devilish blend of professed altruism and psychological tyranny. some 900 members of the California-based People's Temple died in a self-imposed ritual of mass suicide and murder. And the reason why he quit it, made the statement that it's witchcraft because these are sacrifices. That was a sacrifice that was being taking place, and to quit it to what's going on with Israel. Israel is being led to the slaughter also and dying spiritually, and ultimately they're gonna die physically when all the chaos and destruction kick off. But because what they're doing, they are worshiping a man and putting fear, and their fear is in man. So a lot of them that got caught up in this, died because of that.
Yep.
That's scripture.
Okay. It's Jeremiah chapter 14, verse 14. It says, "Then the Lord said unto me, the prophets prophesied lies in my name. I sent them not.
You can break it down too.
Neither have I commanded them." So the prophets that you see today, like Jim Jones and many others that ran these demonic cults, they claim that the Lord sent them. And the Lord said He hasn't sent these prophets, and there's a specific reason for that. It says, "And I sent them not. So neither have I commanded them, neither spake unto them. They prophesy unto you a false vision and divination, and a thing of naught, and the deceit of their heart." And that's what they're doing. They lie in wait to deceive you. Especially Israel. The Israelites are the biggest morons on the planet. The smartest, dumbest people on the planet. The dumbest, smartest people on the planet.
That's right.
And they believe anything if they believe it to be connected to the Most High. But guys like this aren't connected to the Lord, man.
That's right.
He didn't send these guys off. That's why they end up leading people to their deaths, man. Like scriptures say, the blind lead the blind and both shall fall into the ditch. They'll both be in peril. Because after this, I believe, did he take the Kool-Aid himself? No, he was arrested. He didn't take the Kool-Aid.
No, they say he got killed.
Somebody
shot him.
Yeah, somebody shot him.
At the end, yep. Because you had some people that survived when the governor came. Is he a governor? Congressman. I'm going to read it. I'm going to bring out the scripture. This is... Give me take counsel, but not of me, Baba Kashah. This is Isaiah chapter 8, verse 13. It says, "Sanctify the Lord of hosts himself, and let him be your fear, and let him be your dread." Right? You're supposed to came back. Israel, all the Israelites that was involved in this was supposed to come to the scriptures, man. And what time was this? They say this happened? 1978. The truth was out there.
Yeah.
But it wasn't meant for them ultimately. But it equated to now today, Israel is doing the same thing. They being led to the slaughter by following these type of leaders who actually got these same intentions. If they're not killing them spiritually, they're gonna kill them sacrifices physically, man.
Yeah.
See, this stuff goes all the way up to the top, man. It's just not at the bottom.
Yeah, and a lot of these, and most of these Israelites, like I said, when they described the scene, you had women and their children. So they were causing their children to pass through the fire. I
was gonna bring that up.
Okay.
Hold on. You just sparked my memory back up. Okay. Yeah. Come on. Go ahead, bring that out. Let me get that.
This is Isaiah 30:1. It says, "Woe to the rebellious children, saith the Lord, that take counsel, but not of me, and that cover with a covering, but not of my spirit."
God, you break that down. Go ahead.
That they may add sin to sin. So they ask counsel, but they don't ask counsel of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai.
That's right.
They go to their pastors, that they shape out of their own hearts, that have nothing to do with the scriptures. They go off of their counsel is full of nothing but emotions and bias, and not of the Lord. So it says, so the Lord said, "Woe to them that take counsel, but not of Him," meaning misery, and death. And that's exactly what these false prophets bring these people, is misery and death, and nothing else, And they profess to have the oracles of the Most High, and they have the oracles of Satan. You know? It says they walked to go. Well, that was it. Instead of going into Egypt, but that was it.
This is Deuteronomy chapter 18, verse 9. It says, "When thou art come into the land which the Lord thy power giveth thee, thou shalt not learn to do after the abominations of the nations." And Israel did, back in the ancient world, did after the abominations of the nations. And they're doing the same thing now today.
Exactly.
"There shall not be found among you anyone that maketh his son or his daughter to pass through the fire." Right, so when the brother made that statement, what that's talking about, because it's twofold. Israel make their kids pass through the fire by feeding them or giving them these philosophies, teaching them these philosophies.
Exactly.
Back in the ancient world, Israel was actually sacrificing their kids too, and they doing that now today. These rappers and stuff that be killing their kids and stuff for fame and all that. Those be sacrifices.
Yeah.
And some of them just do it for power, because this witchcraft is allowed in this place, man. Or they uses divination, or an observer of times, or an enchanter, or a witch.
Yeah, see, they use divination, an observer of times. You know, which would be your prognosticators, your what do you call it?
Observer of times.
We call it the Nostradamus prophecies.
Yeah,
the post-apocalyptic people that believe in self-proclaimed prophecies from these men that have these dreams. Yeah. You know, you got the what is that, witchcraft?
Enchanter.
Yeah, enchanter or a witch. Know, a lot of these people be having seances. You know, a lot of these people like this was a gigantic ritual right here. You know, a lot of people do the tarot card reading. You know, and they do the inhaling of the different incenses into the body to unleash the chi and chakras and all that stuff. You know, and shit. And you're not supposed to do none of that, because that opens up your spirit to those familiar spirits and those demons, man.
That's right.
You know, which ultimately is going to lead you to be bugged out, you know, and put to death, because that's against the law. You know, he's reading the law right now. Deuteronomy means second book of the law. Second book of the law. And this is the law, you know, and that goes hand to hand with Deuteronomy 20th. I'm not Deuteronomy, but Exodus 20th chapter, which says you shall have no other god before me. That's right. You know, but Israel is all about having more than other gods before the Most High. You know, even when we were walking out of Egypt, all Jake did was fucking complain, man. Oh, the Lord thy power brought us out of Egypt just to kill us in the wilderness, and blah 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 blah, and crying, man. God. When they seen the miracles, they walked through the Red Sea. You know, they had a chariot following them by day and by night. You know, and they still murmured and talked shit. You know, and still wanted to go after other gods. So that's why 2/3 of Israel has to be put to death.
That's right, because they are worshiping these people and these idols. And, you know, a lot of them like taking part in these things, not knowing that they're going to be sacrifices in them.
Right.
You know?
Sheep to the slaughter.
It says, or, verse 11, or a charmer, or a consultant with familiar spirits, or a wizard, or a necromancer. For all that do these, you can break it down this how you want to. For all that do these things are an abomination unto the Lord.
Yeah, and so you have all of these things that have to do with witchcraft is an abomination to the Lord. Like, I remember they had like those TV shows back in the day where like they'll sit you down and you know help you talk to your dead relatives, help you talk to the dead and stuff. Yeah, that's necromancy, man. You know, now you're conjuring up familiar spirits. That's the same thing Saul did with Samuel, man. And Samuel cussed him out. Like, you gonna be with me today. That's right. Know? Now that you done did this, now you going against the law, you're gonna be put to death. This same night. You know? I know Saul was mad as a bitch. He tried to get some guy God your ass to the grave.
I told nigga, you be up here in a minute.
Don't worry about it.
You gonna die too.
Right.
You mad as hell, motherfucker, until you finna die. You trying to get some inspiration. You want to get some motivation and inspiration. They tell you, nah, nigga,
right.
Lord finna kill you too.
Inspire your ass to the grave, motherfucker. Like, that's all Jake is about, man. You know, because he went to the Lord and he didn't get any help because Saul was wicked as all hell, man. God. You know, He didn't want those demons to leave him after a certain point. You know, so the Lord just stopped talking to him altogether. You know, and that's what happens to all these 2/3 of Jake, man. The Lord is not done talking to you altogether.
He gives over to this type of stuff.
You know, like when you come home and your pop's pissed off at you, he don't even talk to you, but you know an ass whooping coming.
Yeah,
that's the same thing that's coming to Jake, man. The Lord ain't talking to them, and they got death coming to them. You know, that's right. So everything that they got here was just deserved, man.
It says, this is verse 12. It says, for all that do these things are an abomination to the Lord, and because of these abominations, the Lord had power to drive them out from before thee. Mm-hmm. So that's ultimately one of the reasons why the Lord had us get rid of all the nations that was in Israel. Because Israel, sheep, simple, were going to be following after them eventually. Yeah. But all those that do these, partake in these, that are of Israel, of the Black Stars and Native Americans, are an abomination unto them, man. So, you know, the Lord not dealing with them.
This is Exodus 23:13. It says, in all things that I have said unto you, be circumspect.
Right, and the nations are abominations too. So, yeah, read it again.
It says, in all things that I have said unto you, be circumspect. And make no mention of the name of other gods.
Right, so you're not just supposed to be mentioning no other gods, man. Mm-hmm. The whole Jesus thing, man. Allah shit, man. Yeah. You know,
Jim Jones, he was worshipped as a god.
Con.
It says, neither let it be heard out of thy mouth.
That's blunt. That's fine.
Yeah.
It says, all right. This is it says see, because I don't know almost forgot where I left off at. All right, it says the followers of Reverend Jim Jones, 47, a once respected Indiana-born humanitarian who degenerated into a egomania and paranoia, had first ambushed a party of visiting Americans, killing California Congressman Leo Ryan, 53, 3 journalists, and 1 defector from their heavily guarded colony at Jonestown.
So he built a whole town for his cult, man. Guess what that sounds like?
America?
The Mormons.
Oh, the Mormons. America. Right, America. This place is finna be destroyed too. Behind that shit, you know, but word. It says, then exhorted by their leader, intimidated by armed guards, and lulled with sedatives, parents and nurses used syringes to squirt a concoction of potassium cyanide and potassium chloride onto the tongues of babies. The adults and older children picked up paper cups and sipped the same all of them deadly poison sweetened by purple flavor aid. That's why I don't drink Kool-Aid today. No. But no, yeah.
They drank the Kool-Aid, literally. Kool-Aid. And anytime where somebody convinces you to die or to kill yourself for no apparent reason at all, that defies all sense and logic, man. You know?
What shit was I was just gonna make? Yeah. And then when you equate this to Jake of the day, man, they being spiritually killed too, man, by following people like this. Mm-hmm. You know, but it says Ryan began inquiring about Jim Jones and his followers, who had just started clearing some 900 acres in the rainforest of Guyana after unhappy relatives of temple members, as well as a few people who had fearfully left the cult, told the congressman that beatings and blackmail rather than brotherly love impelled the cultists to work on the new colony. And this was going on with these church people. These church people be scared to leave church because of the philosophy that's being taught, and then they be giving intimidation through deacons and all of that. They use that psychology shit, you know, that witchcraft shit, them spirits and demons that be putting these people to have them catch the Holy Ghost. Yeah. and you believe that God is really dealing with people and stuff because you don't understand witchcraft. You know. I'll also make another statement. And then when you actually read this type of stuff and you think and you actually sit and think and meditate, a lot of this stuff is still going on these islands.
Mm-hmm.
I was just thinking about that because the scriptures say you got slaves and stuff slaves. It says slaves that was in America, Revelation 18.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
But also
slaves, the souls of men.
Also the slaves. The kids is being turned into slaves. A lot of these kids, more than likely, man, is being taken to a lot of these different islands.
Mm-hmm.
They got the movie Taken.
Yeah.
Taken. A lot of these kids is being taken to these islands and being sacrificed or just used as sex slaves and or used in these rituals. And if you just look up the witchcraft and stuff that's just being done in the world that Israel is doing alone, man, it's crazy, man. It's really crazy. But if you got a scripture, you bring it up.
Oh, no, I didn't have it. I was looking for one.
Okay. It says articles in the New West magazine and the San Francisco Examiner in August 1977 further documented the temple's increasing use of violence to enforce conformity to its rigid rules of conduct, which the U.S. is going to do stuff like that too when the time comes. They're going to even be putting people to death because there's a agenda that they have to fulfill. You know, ultimately, right. See, a lot of these people that's dying or going to die more likely going to be sacrifices to help the agenda out for the New World Order. They do the sacrifices to help these wars out.
Yeah.
But it says members are routinely scolded by Jones before the assembly.
So he's teaching them to fear him. He's teaching them to fear him, not the Most High.
And this reminded me of the Willie Lynch. Mm-hmm. Look how it's done. Members were routinely scolded by Jones before the assembled community, and there's 900 of them.
Mm-hmm.
And then whipped or beaten with paddles for some infractions as smoking or failing to pay attention during a Jones sermon. Right. Picture what happens in church. The church be putting you on blast in front of the congregation, man. Mm-hmm. They all using the same tactics, man.
Yeah.
A woman accused of having
discretion.
A woman accused of having a romance with a male cult member was forced to have intercourse with a man she disliked while the entire colony watched. That's the same shit that's happening during
that's slavery. A sex ritual.
Come on.
That's a sex ritual, man. So they were openly worshiping Satan and not even knowing.
They probably did. Know it. More likely, yeah. Yep. Sex ritual. Right.
Jake is perverse.
More likely, they probably did know it. They probably did have some insight on them being a part of witchcraft and took part of it, but they didn't know that they was going to be sacrifices. It's just like being a Mason. You're going to be knowing all the secrets and stuff, how you being hoodwinked and whatnot. But I wanted to read one more thing before I end it. How did I just what was the point?
This is Proverbs 29:27. It says, "An unjust man is an abomination to the just." And Jim Jones was an unjust man. You just heard what he was doing to this congregation, whipping them and beating them, and forcing them to have sexual intercourse. If they weren't paying attention, that's nothing to beat a man over, And he had them afraid of him instead of afraid of the Most High. It says, "And he that is upright is abomination to the wicked." You know, and that's why when you look at the real prophets and the real teachers of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, we are abominations to the world. You know, they look at us like we're the abomination, like we're the nasty, filthy, and disgusting thing. But really, in reality, guys like this and people that follow guys like this are the abomination, man.
That's right.
You know, and the abomination, what happens to abomination? Abominations get destroyed. You know.
Yeah, I'm just read like one more point.
Mm-hmm. This is Psalms 89 and 31. It says,
go ahead, keep the scriptures rolling.
It says, if they break my statutes and keep not my commandments, then will I visit their transgression with the rod and their iniquity with stripes. You know, so that's why this happened to them, man, because they didn't hearken unto the Lord's statutes and commandments. So the Lord visited them with a rod and stripes, man, and put them to death. It says, nevertheless, my loving kindness will I not utterly take from him, nor suffer my faithfulness to fail. My covenant will I not break, nor alter the thing that is gone out of my lips. You know, and that covenant is for the covenant is for the 144,000 the elect, man, that keep the laws and statutes. You know, as long as we keep our faith, the Lord is going to be faithful for what He promised to us.
All right.
Yeah, that was in the scripture.
All right, I'm gonna bring out just a little bit more information on this, and then I'm gonna end it. But it says the visitors. I'm jumping too. It says the visitors arrived in a chartered aircraft, an 18-seat de Havilland Otter, at an airstrip in Port Khartoum, 6 miles from Jonestown. They rode to the colony along the muddy and barely passable road through the jungle in a tractor-drawn flatbed trailer. At Jonestown, all were greeted warmly by a smiling Jones. The temple, like he passed us. The temple members put on a marvelous performance for their visitors. Reporters were led past the central open-air pavilion used as both a school and an assembly hall. They saw the newly completed sawmill, the 10,000-volume library, the neat nursery. An evening of entertainment in the pavilion followed as a band beat out a variety of tunes. The colonists burst into song, including a rousing chorus of America the Beautiful. Even the skeptical Ryan was impressed. But the next day, the reality of Jones' sway over his followers was made clear. A few temple members approached the visiting delegation, saying they were desperate to leave Jonestown. As Ryan conferred with Jones about their request, he was attacked with a knife by a cult member, Don Sly.
Dang.
But wasn't harmed. That probably was a trigger. As Sly was subdued, Jones watched impassively. He made no move to interfere. Congressman Ryan appeared calm as his group prepared to depart. The party again headed down the rooted road to the Port Khartoum airport. Several Jones loyalists trailed the delegation back to the airstrip and opened fire. Ryan and 4 other members of the group were killed. 11 people were injured. Those who survived fled into the jungle, where some of the fugitive temple members spoke of the White Night exercises in which loudspeakers would summon all Jonestown residents from sleep to convene in the central pavilion where Jones would harangue, how do you say the word? Harangue them about the beauty of dying. All would line up, and be given a drink described as poison. They would take it, expecting to die. Then Jones would tell them the liquid was not poisonous. They had passed his loyalty test. The survivors had no way of knowing that Jones had already ordered the ultimate white night to begin back in the Jonestown commune as soon as he heard of Ryan's death. Right. One of the few survivors of the events, Odell Rhodes, told Time that many mothers voluntarily gave the cyanide to their children, then swallowed the poison themselves.
Mm.
Seated on the high wicker chair, wicker witches, that served as his throne, Jones kept urging the crowd on. Said Rhodes, babies were screaming, children were screaming, and there was mass confusion. Nevertheless, the lethal drinking continued. Cultists filled their cups with from a metal vat on a table at the center of the pavilion and wandered off to die. Often in family groups, their arms wrapped lovingly around one another. The tranquilizers in the liquid may have dulled their senses. It took about 5 minutes.
God damn.
That's what I said. I said it took about 5 minutes for them to die. In the end, some 900 people followed Jones into death. Although Jones apparently never drank the poison, he was found near his throne.
So he deceived the people, man. You know, so he was a hypocrite. He told them to do something that he would never do himself. You know, that's a man without honor.
He was found near his throne, dead of a gunshot wound. The bullet was fired at close range, either by Jones or a close aide.
I would have shot his ass too.
I was gonna say, yeah, somebody that survives probably killed his ass. You know, because if he wanted to do a real sacrifice, he just drunk that poison like everybody else.
Exactly.
You know.
That shows that Esau is a coward, man.
Calm. Let me see. These last couple scriptures, man.
Mm-hmm. I'll grab one real quick. You got on there?
You can bring Micah 3 and 9. Isaiah 60. I'm bringing out Isaiah 66.
It's Micah chapter 3, verse 9. It says, Hear thee, so I can hear this, I pray you, ye heads of the house of Jacob, and princes of the house of Israel, that abhor judgment and pervert all iniquity. That pervert all equity.
Right, they hate the truth, man. They hate righteousness.
God. It says they build up Zion with blood, and Jerusalem with iniquity. The heads thereof judge for reward, and the priests thereof teach for hire.
And that's what's going on now today, man. The heads are judging for reward, for money. You know, and the Lord don't even deal with them. Mm-hmm. So they just going about using what the government has told them or what they have learned in these schools and call themselves teaching the people and call themselves prophets and being that the Lord God himself is actually dealing with them.
Mm-hmm. It says the heads thereof judge for reward, and the priests thereof teach for hire, and the prophets thereof divine for money. Yet will they lean upon the Lord.
Still tithes and offering. And everybody knows that the pastors use the tithes and offering for themselves, and they be having the nicest houses and nicest cars and all that.
So, and the prophets.
It's all right it's all right to give money to your pastor, but he got to be teaching the truth.
It says, "Yet will they lean upon the Lord and say, Is not the Lord among us?"
And that's what they think, man.
God. None evil can come upon us. Therefore shall Zion for your sake be plowed as a field, and Jerusalem shall become heaps, and the mountain of the house as the high places of the forest. So Israel's going to die, man, behind these so-called pastors and so-called these self-proclaimed prophets, man. You know, that was it.
All right. This is Isaiah chapter 65, verse 2. I have spread out my hands all the day unto a rebellious people, which walketh in a way that was not good for their own thoughts. Yeah, hence what happened with the Jonestown situation. Hence what's going on now today, man. Israel is rebellious. They don't want to hear the truth. They don't want to walk in righteousness, man. A people that provoketh me to anger continually to my face, that sacrificeth in the gardens, and burneth incense upon the altars of bricks. Right, and that's what they used to do in the ancient world. Now today, they just worshiping other gods, which remain among the graves and lodge in the mountains, which eat swine's flesh, and broth of abominable things is in their vessels, which say, stand by thyself, come not near to me, for I am holier than thou. And that's the mentality of these church people, man. These are a smoke in my nose, a fire that burneth all the day. Behold, it is written before me, I will not keep silence, but will recompense into their bosom. Your iniquities and it says your iniquities and your iniquities of your fathers together, said the Lord, which have burned incense upon the mountains and blasphemed me upon the hills. Right, so Israel gonna be judged for that, man. They're gonna be put to death for that. It says, therefore will I measure their former work into their bosom. Thus said the Lord, as the new wine is found in the cluster, and one said, destroy it not, for a blessing is in it, so will I do for my servant's sake, that I may not destroy them all. And I will bring forth a seed out of Jacob, and out of Judah, an inheritor of my mountains. And mine elect shall inherit it, and my servant shall dwell there. So,
my servant shall inherit it, meaning Jerusalem and Israel, man. The kingdom of heaven. And we shall dwell there. This is after everything is destroyed, man.
That's right.
And we finally get our reward, which is the kingdom of heaven. A real reward that's promised to us by the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushua himself, and not man upon earth. That's all you had?
Yeah, Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 15. You might get to it way before I do.
Yeah, I'm already here. Okay. This is Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 15. It says, woe unto him that giveth his neighbor drink, that putteth thy bottle to him, and maketh him drunken also.
Yeah, see, our people pass out these philosophies. They keep the religion, the apostolic, especially in jail.
Yeah.
They learn to be a Muslim from being in jail. They keep that philosophy going. They keep teaching each other the abominations. And the Lord going to put them to death for that, man.
It says, and maketh him drunken also, that thou mayest look on their nakedness.
Right, because ultimately they're naked when they take on the philosophies of the world.
Thou art filled with shame for glory. Drink thou also, and let thy foreskin be uncovered. The cup of the Lord. Okay, come.
Yeah, I want that specific part.
Okay, come.
This description, I think this is the last one. It says, this is Jeremiah chapter 5, verse 31. The prophets prophesy falsely, and the priests bear rule by their means.
Yeah, they bear rule by their means, meaning by their own vain thoughts. What they want to do, and how they feel about situations, not according to the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushua.
And my people love to have it so.
Yeah, and they love to have that bias mentality ruling over them, man. Because a man like Jim Jones or any of these false pastors and prophets are emotional, man, and they don't rebuke their congregation at the wickedness that they're doing, So yeah, of course Israel loves to have it so. They love it when they don't have to get rebuked for anything.
Yeah, they love their comfort. They love the comfort. They love the music, the dances, and all that shit. They rather have smooth things that the scriptures say. Smooth things spoken out to them instead of the truth, because they say the truth hurts, man. The truth hurts, and a lot of people can't deal with the hurt of the truth, man. It says, and they don't like the idea that you gotta suffer to be a part of this, part of the Lord's elect. They don't like our idea that shit, suffering sums it all up. Cause you gotta catch hell, man. You gotta go through all types of stuff, man. In the truth, man. You know, it says, "And what will ye do in the end thereof?" Right. So what y'all gonna do when there's coming destruction, chaos, the pestilence, the missiles?
They ain't gonna have nobody to pray to.
Kind.
The Lord, and then if they, let's say they did know the Lord, in the Lord's name, the Lord ain't gonna hear them, man.
Kind. So, that's it for the lesson, man. Jacob being led to the slaughter. They being led to the slaughter, man. But just a 2/3. Such things as 2/3, man. So, call well, hopefully, we of the elect, man. And keep up the fight. So, call out to Yabashim Shai, double honor to the elders and apostles that we will. And salutations to the brothers and sisters on the truth and sincerity.
Shalom.
Shalom.